In the dead of night, a chilling whisper rustles through the wind. Beware, for what you seek may not be what you wish to find. This is a tale that begins in the heart of an unassuming town, a place where the days are slow and the nights are filled with the soft hum of crickets. A place where life is ordinary and tranquility is the town's most treasured attribute. Yet, beneath this veneer of peace, a shadowy secret lies in wait. In this town, curiosity is as common as the morning dew, and a group of adventurous locals are about to stumble upon a discovery that will shatter the town's serenity. It begins on a day like any other, in the town's library, a sanctuary of knowledge and history. As the sun sinks beneath the horizon, they unearth an ancient text hidden away in the dusty confines of the library's oldest section. Its pages, yellowed by time and brittle to the touch, hold symbols of a language long forgotten. Each turn of the page sends a shiver down their spine, an instinctual warning that something is amiss. But curiosity, as it often does, overpowers caution, and they delve deeper into the text. They decipher the cryptic symbols, their voices weaving an incantation that echoes through the stillness of the library. Yet, as the final word of the incantation lingers in the air, they feel a sudden chill, an inexplicable dread that makes the hair on the back of their necks stand up. The world around them seems to hold its breath, the silence echoing louder than any scream. And then, in the blink of an eye, everything returns to normal, or so it seems. As they leave the library, the ancient text forgotten in the thrill of their adventure, they are oblivious to the sinister change that has taken place. Unbeknownst to them, this was no ordinary book, but a gateway to a realm of darkness. In their curiosity, they dared to decipher the cryptic writings, unknowingly uttering a curse. An innocuous gathering of friends had now turned into a chilling tableau of horror. They were drawn in by the allure of the ancient musty book, its pages yellowed with age and filled with symbols and scripts that danced before their eyes. The thrill of the unknown, the mystery of the arcane, it was all too compelling. As they began to recite the cryptic incantations, their voices echoed in the room, bouncing off the cold stone walls, carving an eerie harmony. The air around them seemed to thicken, like an invisible fog rolling in, suffused with a sense of dread that was almost palpable. The room's temperature began to drop, their breaths visible in the frosty air. The flickering lights cast long, dancing shadows on the walls, creating a spectral light show that sent chills down their spines. The words they uttered reverberated in the room, each syllable pulsating with an ancient power that seemed to awaken the slumbering darkness. An unseen force stirred, an invisible hand reaching out from the abyss, brushing against the fabric of reality. The room trembled, the book vibrated, and their hearts pounded in their chests like a drumbeat of doom. Suddenly, they stopped reading. The silence was deafening. The only sound was their own panicked breathing. But it was too late. The last word of the curse hung in the air, echoing ominously. A sense of dread washed over them, a realization that they had inadvertently set something in motion, something they couldn't stop, something they couldn't control. A force beyond their understanding, a malevolence beyond their comprehension. They had opened a door that should have remained closed. They had summoned a demon. The echoes of their folly rang loud in their ears. They had crossed a line, a threshold into a world of darkness and despair. An ancient evil was now among them, loosed upon the world by their own hands. The chill in the air was its breath, the flickering lights its eyes, the trembling room its heartbeat. They stood there, paralyzed with fear, trapped in the horror of their own making. The town was no longer a haven of peace, but a playground for a malevolent entity. The air seemed to thicken with an unseen dread. The once tranquil town was now a hotbed of unexplainable occurrences. Folks who'd been neighbors for years started to vanish without a trace. The sheriff, a man who'd seen it all, was left baffled, scratching his head at the growing list of missing persons. Not a soul was spared from the bizarre happenings. Even the pets, once docile, began to act out as if provoked by an invisible menace. Dogs were found barking at empty corners, cats suddenly spooked by nothing in particular. The local vet was inundated with worried pet owners, but he too was at a loss, unable to explain the strange behavior. The jovial spirit that once filled our little town was replaced by a cloud of fear. Laughter and friendly banter were replaced by hushed whispers and suspicious glances. The once bustling town center was now eerily quiet. The townsfolk, once so warm and welcoming, were now gripped by an unspoken terror. Our group, the unwitting instigators of this terror, realized the magnitude of their mistake. They knew they had unleashed something, a malevolent force that was now wreaking havoc on their home. But how could they reverse it? The artifact was silent, its secrets as impenetrable as before. They were no closer to a solution, their attempts to reseal the demon proving futile. As the days turned into weeks, the haunting continued unabated. Each sunrise brought new horror. Each sunset a sigh of relief that another day had passed. But relief was fleeting, for the night held its own terrors. The moon, once a beacon of calm, now seemed to cast long, sinister shadows that held unspeakable fears. They were trapped in their own horror story with no way out. In the midst of despair, an ancient prophecy was revealed. A member of our group, while flipping through the dust-laden pages of the same cursed book, had stumbled upon an ancient prophecy. It hinted at the possibility of a ritual, a banishing spell to send the demon back to its fiery abyss. It was a gamble, a long shot in the dark, but in the face of such terror, it was the only glimmer of hope we had. A sliver of hope in an ocean of darkness, but would it be enough? With newfound determination, they set out to face their nightmare. Our brave group, armed with the wisdom of prophecies of old, rallies at the town's library, the very genesis of their terror. Each heartbeat echoes the silent march towards the unknown, the palpable tension thick enough to cut, their resolve as unyielding as the impending doom that awaits them. As they open the library doors, they brace themselves for the fight of their lives. The fate of their town hangs in the balance. Will they succeed or fall into the abyss of the demon's reign?